Hi, how y'all doing? It is April the 22nd, 2025. A lot of twos. Here in Ontario, Canada, the skies are blue with white, puffy clouds. Right? That's what it turned into in the rise. For half the day, it was cloudy. So now we have blue sky. The neighbors are going crazy. The children out there are yelling at each other. Last night when I went to bed, 2 cruisers showed up, the policy officers for the corporation, right? I guess one of the women next door was going crazy or something, right? Um, I could hear somebody bang, 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 and then scream, and I was like, sounds like she's in the back of the cruiser freaking out, right? They were here for about, a good 40 minutes or longer, and then gone. I was like, thank goodness. But yeah, my neighbors are acting strange. Stranger than they did before. But we get new neighbors all the time. People don't stay here for long for some reason. I guess it's because of their dysfunction. Let's say we're in a new moon phase, the waning crescent. So what's it for? It's about, when I read this, it's like for empaths, right? Reflect and prepared action. So, well, I went out and got some magnesium today. That's a treatment for the fibromyalgia, magnesium malate, right? And I went to the grocery store. I seen my friend Tass over there. Made sure that she checked me out, and we talked just like we talk here about anything, right? And people around in line and everything just ignored us, kind of thing. They pretended that they didn't hear us, but we don't care, right? We're talking to each other. So yeah, I guess y'all heard that the Pope died at 88 years old, right? And well, he's been gone for a while. They've had a few of them, right? But they finally decided to spring it on the collective consciousness of sheeple, right? So we talked about that, all right? She said, how many are there? And I said, I don't know. I think there was 3 or 4, but this is the last one. I said, this was a robot, right? So yeah, stuff like that. I don't have a lot to talk about. Yesterday, the Schuman was at 76, so quite high. Did you feel it? I was buzzing. My ears are ringing. Um, I got a real icky sensation in the middle of my spine. All right, it was like all day. We didn't have any Wi-Fi here in my home yesterday from about 12:30 to about 9 o'clock at night. And by that time, I decided it was time to lay down. I was tired, right? And it took me until after 11:30 to go to sleep. But yeah, I was like, for sure there was going to be an earthquake or something yesterday. Something was going on, right? And today, the whole night, my shoulders are super tight. My neck, right? Still got that headache, third eye headache, all right? So the Schumann's been quite high. We're getting a lot of energy put on us. So just take it easy, stay hydrated, all right? Be good. That's what I told Tess. When she says, oh, I hope this is over soon, I said, oh, it's probably going to take a while. The spaceships have to come out next year, right? And she was like, yeah, and what was I going to, or I said, she goes, I just don't know what to do. And I said, well, all there is to do is to be good and just relax, sit back, stay away from that, right? Like, don't get involved in what's going on in the world and just wait and be good, right? She goes, yeah. I said, yeah. And then I was gone. So, when I was thinking about the popes, I know it's all codes, right? The reason why they did it yesterday, it was on the 22nd, on Easter, right? The goddess Ishtar. It goes back to Isis, I believe, because so many ones have the same name, just in different religions or cultures, I should say, and religions, right? So it was Easter, the 22nd, right? And he was 88, and yesterday the Schuman was 76, and I added up a bunch of numbers that had to do with that, and it came out to 13 both ways, right? Because 76 is 13. You have to do the math yourself. I'm not doing it for you right now. And I thought 13 is the number of the divine female, Isis. I thought, I wonder what significance that has. I'm not in as deep and as analytical as other people I watch on YouTube, right? But I do see the codes. I'm just waiting. I know that the source will give me a sign. Yesterday in the rise, too, there was a robin in my tree. The only bird I seen all day, because it rained all day yesterday until nighttime, and then it stopped, and the people came out and started being misbehaving, you know, banging and yelling, and then the police and just stuff like that. You kind of used to it around this hood, but that's housing for you, right? Strange how it works out that way. Oh, you know what else I was wondering? You ever see them making new cemeteries? I live in a small town. I don't see them ever making new cemeteries. But our population went up quite a bit throughout the years since I've been born, because I was born here, right? I never see them make new cemeteries. Why is that? What are they doing with the bodies? Bunch of cannibals they are, aren't they? You know? I had a girl talk to me about them the other day. The one that came over, she needed help. I don't know if I could say who they are, but the JEWS, the fake ones, because there's real ones, and then there's ones that just call themselves that to get away with their cannibalism and their bizarre acts of religion, disgusting acts for their religion, for their God, but that's who their God is, right? And she goes, yeah, they come out and they admit to eating our flesh and stuff like that. And then she says, but they don't see anything wrong with it because they just feed their blood to put the blood in our food, right? I think it's a big joke. I said, yeah, I know, right? But I've been telling people that since 2022. Anything that says natural flavoring, right? Yeah. So yesterday I just didn't do much. Well, I did my laundry and I made an excellent roast beef dinner. Best ever so far. I was so happy, right? I'm a Taurus, I like food. But I don't have a big variety of foods I eat. I eat to live. I don't live to eat, right? So the food I do eat, I make sure that it tastes good. And I surprised myself last night. I did really well. My son was home too all day. He kept on, he had data on, he has unlimited data, so he was watching whatever he wanted, you know? And that's okay, I don't care, right? I have a little radio in my room, I turned it on. It's an old digital one, right? I listened to some crap music, just really low, just for some background music kind of thing, right? So I wouldn't hear the lyrics so much because their music is so depressing. They haven't got anything new ever, right? Because they're not creators. The people that own this stuff, that put out the music and everything and the movies, they're not creators. They're thieves, right? They just copy. So they're done. They can't put out anything new because I guess the real people stopped doing it for them. So now with the Pope gone, that means news is going to come out. What is it? Well, I seen a post today that was, what's his name? You know, the red pill, blue pill guy from the Matrix, and he just had the red pill in his hand. He says, you only have one choice. right? And it says everybody's going to be red pilled. So with the Pope gone, I think the Black Pope takes over in 9 days because they mourn for 9 days. The sixth of those days, they choose the next Pope, right? And I think it's the black one because they're going to show you the who's behind it all, the black nobility, right? They're not good, right? There's two different sets, two different kinds. What's weird is that it's all part of the biblical prophecy, and if you go back and you do Genesis, it starts from or I guess the Old Testament really, and you follow who begat who and who begat who, you know, how that goes through Genesis, right? Like, just off the top of my head, let's say Job begat Fred and Fred begat Frank, and you know how that goes, right? Well, they're all talking about bloodlines and how that works out, right? And when the Canaanites got involved, they were the bad ones, Abel and Cain, remember? Cain, you know, disabled. Cain, Abel, he was Abel, his father's favorite, you know? And Cain whacked Abel, right? Well, Cain's people went on to become the people we've been fighting against, who have been doing all the harm to us, right? Through all these generations. So, this is what the more science says. And this is what a lot of the people that are delving it back into try to find out through history are finding, right? Like I said, it's confusing. The Seer Duca Tears does a good job explaining some of it, and so does Karimel Aho, right? He explains it well too by reading the books he reads to you, all right? Try to tell you who's who, you know? You know, a lot of some of the black, so-called black people, right, on YouTube are saying that only the black are going to ascend and get superpowers and all this stuff, right? But Rod Hayes says all you need is a drop of blood. That means one ancestor who was melanated, known as black, also known as black. And because if your bloodline's been here, it's been here for a very long time. If you're here, right? Since the beginning, or you wouldn't be here. So the thing is to figure out which side of the family do you come from, Abel's side or Cain's side, you know? If you come from Cain's side and you haven't done your work, your shadow work, you haven't turned to good, let go of all temptation and stuff, then I guess you're not going to ascend, right? It's a spiritual thing. So it's a good thing, like I said. Big Mama says everybody gets to ascend, you know? Because you're a part of their heritage, a part of their lineage. So, yeah. I know. That's weird, isn't it? It's a weird realm. Only birds I've seen today is a seagull. I had to kill a black spider downstairs. First one this year. He wasn't even moving fast, but I got him. I sprayed it with Raid first, and then I whacked him with a fly swatter, because those suckers can run pretty fast, right? And I crumbled him up real good. Yesterday I killed the daddy longlegs. He was a big one, right? I was just like, hell no. I don't consent to you being in my house. You just had to be in here. Whack. I don't like doing it. I really don't. I'd rather not, right? But I'm not going to live with insects. They're insectoids, arachnids. As soon as I see them, they're gone, right? It's just the way I am. I think maybe in a previous life I was on a planet where I was fighting with them or something. Who knows? But I was hoping that the energies would rise high enough that it would get rid of them. But obviously, they're still here. I like to know how the buggers get inside. I'd like to find their nest and destroy it. Their escape route. They're road in and they're road out, right? Get done of them once for all. Plug those holes, whatever it is. It's just who I am. There it is. I had a bit of a rough night going to sleep last night, I told you. And I was up at 6 o'clock, having weird dreams again. I can't really remember. I sort of remembered one, but not good enough to talk about it. Right? Don't know what's going on with that. Weird. My ears are ringing so loud. Other than that, my left leg and my foot is uncomfortable today, icky. And my shoulders, like I said. That's about my Schuman, my Ascension symptoms. I was going to say Schuman. Well, I guess that's mother's heartbeat. Maybe that's part of it too. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Right? They don't. But I think it's a really good thing that the energy's finally moving again. A positive way. I think the king will be the next one to croak. And then it'll get even better. Right? Time will tell. He already had sausage fingers. So that means heart problems. Right? Swollen fingers. He's already gone too. I know. But they have to play it out. Which sucks, because everybody's not as fast as we are. But that's okay too. Everybody learns at their own speed, right? Right. It's just frustrating for us that want to go. We gotta sit and wait. Wait and wait and wait. Hurry up and wait. Right? Alright. Every day I'm stronger than the day before. Every day I have more patience than the day before. Every day I'm wiser than the day before. Every day I have more gratitude than the day before. I love you all, so consciousness. Enjoy this night or day. Okay? Okay. That's why I didn't make a video yesterday. I didn't have any internet. Bye.